You ever throw a pool party in your own backyard, and somehow it turns into a full-blown HOA courtroom drama? Yeah, that happened to me. And of course, Karen was at the center of it all. See, I've been planning this pool party for weeks. Friends, food, music, even a float shaped like a giant flamingo. It was going to be the party of the summer. But Karen? She saw it as a personal attack on suburban tranquility. I knew something was up when I saw Karen pacing along the sidewalk outside my house. She had that clipboard of doom tucked under her arm and sunglasses so big they looked like they were hiding government secrets. She stopped, turned, and said, "Karen, as president of this community's HOA, I must inform you that loud, rowdy, irresponsible, and clearly disruptive parties of this magnitude are strictly forbidden and will not be tolerated under any circumstances." I blinked at her and said, "Me, Karen, it's a couple of friends in my backyard, not a Vegas nightclub." She huffed, stomped off, and I swear I heard her muttering about saving the neighborhood from chaos and sin. Fast forward to Saturday. My yard was glowing, pool floats everywhere, grills smoking, music lightly bumping. Everyone had a drink in hand, and my dog Max was living his best life, stealing chips when no one was looking. And then she appeared. Karen marched into my yard like she owned the place. Didn't knock, didn't ask, just stormed in and shouted, "Karen, this unlawful gathering must cease immediately, or I will be forced to escalate this matter to the highest authorities." My buddy Dave whispered to me, "Dave, bro, is she serious right now? We're eating hot dogs and playing Marco Polo, not running a rave." An hour later, I got an email blast from the HOA. Yup, mid-party. HOA email. Effective immediately. All parties involving pools, amplified music, outside guests, or frivolous behavior that disrupts neighborhood decorum are hereby suspended pending board review. I read it out loud, and the whole party laughed. But Karen wasn't laughing. She stood at the fence, arms crossed, glaring like a villain waiting for Act 3. Right when the party hit its peak, flashing lights pulled up in front of my house. Yep, Karen had actually called the cops. 2 officers walked in looking confused. "Officer, ma'am, we heard there was some kind of wild disturbance." I pointed to the pool. My friends were playing volleyball, a couple kids were eating popsicles, and Max was chasing his tail. "Me, this is the crime scene, gentlemen." Karen shoved her HOA binder in their faces and shouted, "Karen, this is chaos of the highest order. Noise pollution, rule violations, a total breakdown of civilized living." The cops looked at each other, shrugged, and one of them said, "Officer, looks like a barbecue to me. Carry on, folks." The party cheered. Karen stormed off like a Disney villain retreating in defeat. But she wasn't done. Oh no. The very next week, the HOA meeting turned into Karen versus me. The pool party trial. Karen slammed her binder on the table. "Karen, this homeowner brazenly defied my lawful order, disturbed the peace of this sacred neighborhood, and unleashed anarchy upon us all." The board members looked exhausted. One of them rubbed his temples and muttered, "Board member, Karen, it was literally a pool party, not the apocalypse." I stood up with a grin. "Me? Look, the cops came. They saw. They shrugged. If the law doesn't care, why should the HOA?" The room burst into chuckles. Karen turned red, but the board voted against her motion unanimously. The best part? My neighbors, fed up with Karen's antics, decided to throw their own little pool parties in solidarity. One weekend, there were inflatable flamingos in half the yards. Someone even put a giant sign on their fence that read, "Pool parties welcome, Karen not invited." And me? I bought the biggest, loudest inflatable speaker I could find and only used it to play kids' Disney sing-alongs at a very reasonable volume. So yeah, Karen tried to ban my pool party. She failed, spectacularly. And now, every time I see her glaring at my yard, I just raise my drink, wave, and smile. Here's to pool parties, freedom, and surviving the HOA drama, one ridiculous story at a time. Thanks for watching. If you love this HOA Karen meltdown, smash that like button, share with a friend, and subscribe for more crazy neighborhood stories. Trust me, there's always another one.